Okay, so this is going to be a set of notes on testing a claim about a mean using a p-value. This is very similar to the notes on testing a claim about a proportion using a p-value. So we're not going to go into huge depth on this, but remember p-value tests can handle left tail, right tail, and two tail situations where the interval test can only handle the two-tail situation. So we're going to start with a claim here. We're going to make a claim that an average novel has, so an average novel has more than 250 words per page. So our H null is going to be that the mean, the average, is going to be 250. And our alternative hypothesis is going to be that the mean is bigger than 250. So remember, the alternative hypothesis here is the one that represents the claim. So we're going to say that we looked at 500 randomly selected novels, and that we found on average there were 295 words per page with a standard deviation of 45 words. Okay, so we have the information that we need. We have the sample size, we have the mean of the sample, and we have the standard deviation for the sample, so we can actually conduct what we're going to call a t-test. We're going to test this for a p-value using the t-distribution. All right, so let's get up the calculator here. All right, so I have my TI-84 calculator. I go stat, tests. I bring up the t-test, that's number 2. I want this in statistics mode, so I put in stats. I'm testing against a mean of 250. That's the mean in my null hypothesis. My sample mean was 295. The sample standard deviation was 45 words per page. The number of samples I took was 500. And I am doing a right-tailed test because my claim is that we are 250 more or more than 250 words, right? So everything is set up. I hit calculate. And if I look at my p-value there, that is like really, really, really tiny. That p-value is 1.53 times 10 to the negative 77, which means that there is no way that we're going to fail to reject the null. We are definitively rejecting the null hypothesis here. Okay, so let's think about what that means in terms of the problem. Okay, so our p-value here was 1.53 times 10 to the negative 77, which is definitively less than my alpha, which is 0.05 in most of the situations in this course. We're going to use a 5% significance level. So this means I should reject categorically the null hypothesis. So I reject the null, which means that I have favored the alternative hypothesis, which is, remember, representing my claim. So I can say that the data supports the claim, that the average number of words per page in a novel is over 250. So my statistical sample definitely supports that claim. So there you go. There's an example of a right-tailed t-test. You can also do a left-tailed one. You can do a two-tailed one. They all pretty much work the same way. So we'll look at more of this in class.